Morning, students. Welcome to classes on agricultural economics. Today, we will be dealing with agricultural price policy. In the last video, we have already discussed about agricultural price policy since 1947. In this video, we will be discussing about the objectives of agricultural price policy in India, its need and its effect. First, let us focus on the objectives of agricultural price policy in India. First objective of agricultural price policy is to protect or ensure the producer. So, agricultural price policy aims to protect or ensure producer by providing minimum support prices to them. So, when minimum support prices are announced, this acts as a stabilization measure in the market. The price variability of agricultural products are reduced and price risk of farmers are also reduced. When price risk of farmers are reduced, farmers are in a good situation and farmers will invest more in their farms. They will adopt improved production technology. So, the first and foremost aim of agricultural price policy in India is to protect or ensure the producers from price instability. Second important objective of agricultural price policy is to induce the desired output of different crops according to growth targets. So, different crops have their own growth targets, and agricultural price policy aims to achieve these desired outputs or desired growth targets of different crops. Third important objective of agricultural price policy is to induce an increase in aggregate agricultural output. And this aggregate agricultural output is increased through larger use of inputs, fertilizers, pesticides, water responsive technologies, adoption of high yielding variety seeds, and so on. So, another important objective of agricultural price policy is to increase overall output of agricultural production. Then, next objective of agricultural price policy is to induce farmers to part with large portion of food grain production as a marketed surplus. Or another important objective of agricultural price policy is to convert marketable surplus into marketed surplus. Or to increase marketed surplus is another objective of agricultural price policy. Last objective of agricultural price policy is to protect consumers against excessive rise in price. So, especially low-income consumers, they suffer more in the period when supply lags behind demand. Now, let us move on to the need of agricultural price policy in India. We know that agricultural commodities prices are highly unstable. This price instability and its effect on producers and consumers demand strong agricultural price policy in India. Now let us move on to the instruments of price policy. There are mainly 5 instruments used by India: minimum support prices, procurement prices, PDS, buffer stock and market intervention scheme. We have already discussed about minimum support price, procurement price, buffer stock and MIS, and we will discuss PDS in our coming videos. Now let us focus on the effect of agricultural price policy. So here we will be discussing the effect of agricultural price policy under 6 heads. First point, agricultural price policy provides incentive to increase production. So, effective agricultural price policy will provide necessary incentive to farmers for raising their agricultural output. So, when agricultural price policy is effective, farmers will get remunerative prices for their product, and if farmers get remunerative prices for their product, they will invest more in their farms, and this will increase overall production of food grains in the economy. So, effective agricultural price policy is an incentive that increases overall agricultural production. So, agricultural price policy increases overall production in the economy. Second effect of agricultural price policy is that it increases level of income of farmers. So, agricultural price policy supports farmers, support producers. So, when farmers are getting remunerative prices, their income will be enhanced and their standard of living will be improved. So, effective agricultural price policies increases the level of income of farmers. Third important effect of agricultural price policies is that it brings about price stability. So, effective agricultural price policy brings about stability in agricultural commodities market. So, prices of agricultural commodities will be stable. And if agricultural commodities market is not that volatile, that will be beneficial for consumers as well as producers. So, effective agricultural price policy will bring about price stability in the agricultural commodities market that will be beneficial for producers as well as consumers. Another important effect of agricultural price policy is that it brings about certain changes in cropping pattern. In India, agricultural price policies has brought certain changes in cropping pattern. For example, production of wheat and rice have changed drastically. Production of wheat and rice has increased because government is giving more support to wheat and rice producers, whereas production of pulses and oilseeds have not achieved considerable change because of the absence of such price support. So, agricultural price policies will bring about certain changes in cropping pattern, and that is especially visible in case of rice and wheat. Now, another important effect of agricultural price policy is that it is beneficial for consumers. When agricultural commodities prices are stable, consumers will get food grains at reasonable prices. So, consumers will be benefited from effective agricultural price policy. Last effect is on agro-based industries. So, effective agricultural price policy will be beneficial for agro-based industries. So, when prices of agricultural commodities are stable, the agro-based industries will get adequate amount of raw materials at required time. So, this will be beneficial for agro-based industries. So, effective agricultural price policy will be beneficial for agro-based industries. So, we were discussing about agricultural price policy in India. I hope this is clear for you. Thank you.